Good morning.
I wish I had a stand for this microphone. But let me just thank you so much for the kind introduction. I'm very pleased to be here this morning to speak with the voices for Georgia's children at your annual breakfast. You know, as our state continues to grow, it is critical that all of our children be given the opportunity to thrive. This organization does a tremendous amount of work to that end in behalf of the children of the state of Georgia. And I want to salute you for your many accomplishments, your hard work, and I want to thank you for all that you do for our states and our nation's children. It was Charles Dickens who, in The Tale of Two Cities, said that it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was a season of light, it was a season of darkness. It was a spring of hope, it was a winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, we were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good or for evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. Our nation is currently in the midst of one of the most difficult and frightening economic periods in our history. And I'm extremely optimistic about the future of our great nation and our president. Our country still faces racial, economic, and regional challenges. And we must be cognizant of these problems and these challenges, especially in these uncertain times. The election of President Obama represents a very unique moment when we can overcome our past divisions, all of the things that caused us to be separated from one another. And the one thing about the adversity that we face is that it gives us an opportunity to look past those differences and to come together for one goal, one purpose. And as President Obama has promised to look past partisan differences, to look past Democrats, Republicans, and independents, to try to bring people together, I want you to know that as a member of Congress, I look forward to working with President Obama and doing just that. You know, throughout my political career, I have always been of the opinion that good government was not Democrat nor Republican. Good government was American. I hold to that premise, and I believe that as we move into this new era, as we face these challenges together, that we will be able to join hands to face the real pressing challenges that we face. Our economy is in trouble. We lost 3.6 billion jobs since December of 2007. Half of those in the last 3 months. It's unfortunate that so many people are unemployed, can't pay their car loans, their home loans, lines of credit for local businesses cut off. The student loan market in many communities and states is dried up. Farmers whose products we depend on for food are vital to the Georgia economy, and I represent a largely agricultural district. They have to depend upon a secure line of credit, and that credit is not likely to happen this year, and so many are not going to be able to make a crop. People who are facing foreclosure in homes where children live are not able to pay their mortgages or refinance their mortgages. And many may lose their homes. people looking to retire, grandparents may have to take on part-time employment or delay retirement altogether because of the depression in the value of their 401k and their pension plans. So, as you can see, we've got tremendous economic challenges facing us as a nation. I'm troubled, however, that as a nation, the lack of accountability that has I'm troubled that at these moments like we face, that they don't come often. We have a new president, we have new opportunities, but it's imperative that we take advantage of those opportunities. President Obama has promised to lead us, and I'm hoping that we will, in fact, take care of our business. You know, the first step that Congress took toward addressing this economic crisis was H.R. 1424, which is the Emergency Economic Stabilization Act, known as the Troubled Assets Relief Program, or the TARP. It authorized $700 billion to revive and to save our financial institutions from failing. I voted for the bill, but it was one of the toughest votes that I've ever had to make in Congress. I voted for it because it felt like we were in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. The prevailing dreadful economic trends, the fact that the crisis threatens our economic security. I'm troubled, though, that when we passed that bill, $700 billion authorized, that there was a lack of accountability in the first $350 billion that was released by President Bush and Secretary Paulson. American people were outraged. The Congress is outraged. And President Obama recently asked Congress for the other $350 billion. But this time, you can rest assured that Congress will require and is requiring accountability. And I'm determined to work with President Obama to ensure that there will be more safeguards and greater oversight by Congress in determining how the money will be spent. Last Friday, the House of Representatives approved the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, the stimulus bill. On Tuesday, the President signed it. And the purpose of the legislation, as you very well know, was to spur job preservation and creation, infrastructure investment, energy efficiency and research and innovation in science, assistance to the unemployed, and state and local government fiscal stabilization. The plan proposes important investments that can start to overcome our damaging loss of jobs by saving or creating 3 or 4 million jobs and put the United States back on a sustainable, long-term growth path. While the legislation may not be enough to solve all of our problems, it's urgently needed and it's an important first step in the right direction. There's no question that all of us would prefer that our economy be healthy, that it be vibrant, and that it not need the shot in the arm that we hope this bill will provide. But our nation's economy is sick, it's on life support. Just last week, the Georgia Department of Labor reported that over 120,000 Georgians had filed for unemployment benefits. That's 81%. It's an 81% increase from last year this time. We needed in Congress to decisively act on behalf of all Americans who have suffered as a result of the failing economy. The bill is not perfect, but it will extend a helping hand to those who were hurt by the recession, while hopefully it will lay the foundation for the preservation and the creation of new jobs, and it will revitalize our economy. I want to tell you about a few ways that this bill will help. The recovery package will create a making work pay tax cut of $400 for individuals, $800 for couples, for more than 3.4 million Georgia workers and their families, designed to start paying out immediately into workers' paychecks, phasing out completely at the $150,000 income level for couples and $75,000 for single filers. Workers will be able to receive this benefit through a reduction in the amount of income tax that's withheld from their paychecks each week, through claiming the credit on the tax return if they choose not to take it immediately. What does that have to do with children? What helps parents, helps children. This bill will further help workers who were hurt by the recession by extending the unemployment benefits, which now provides up to 33 weeks of extended benefits that would otherwise be scheduled to phase out at the end of March. That will help an additional 3.5 million jobless people in this country. Again, what helps parents, helps children. The bill will increase food stamps. Food stamp benefits by providing $19.9 billion for food stamps, increasing food stamp benefits by over 13% to help offset the rising food costs of more than 31 million Americans, half of whom are children. Every dollar food stamps creates at least $1.73 in economic activity. The bill will restore science and innovation as the keys to the new American-made technology in an effort to prevent, to treat diseases, to tackle urgent national challenges, including the challenge of climate change. It will invest in our new infrastructure by providing $27.5 billion to modernize bridges and roads, $8.4 billion for investments in transit, $8 billion for investment in high-speed rail. These investments will reduce traffic congestion and will reduce our dependence on foreign oil, but it will also reduce jobs. What helps parents, workers, and help their children. It will help workers that are hurt by loss of jobs by providing a 65% subsidy for COBRA healthcare premiums for up to 9 months for workers who've lost their jobs due to the recession. More than 393,000 Georgians who are out of work and have lost health care will be able to receive these COBRA benefits. Healthy parents, healthy children. The bill will also protect the health care coverage for a lot of Americans during this recession by providing an estimated $87 billion over the next 2 years in additional federal matching funds to help states maintain the Medicaid programs in the face of massive state budget shortfalls. We save the jobs of teachers, police officers, healthcare workers,